the distant lands of Ewosa, there was a great kingdom called Obatan. The kingdom of Obatan was a land of beauty and wealth. Great fields stretched far and wide. Rivers flowed full and clear. And the people were happy and prosperous. The markets were always busy with traders bringing goods from near and far. The villagers lived in harmony, working together and celebrating their success. King Obatan, a wise and strong leader, ruled the kingdom with fairness, care, pride, and strength. He wore the finest robes and coral beads, a sign of his great status. Under his rule, Obatan became famous for his overflowing harvest, riches, peace, and unity. The people loved their king and trusted him to protect their land and future. It was a time of joy and plenty for everyone. But peace and wealth did not last in Obatan. Even the mightiest trees do face storms. Fate can sometimes be cruel. A terrible drought struck the land, drying up the rivers and withering the once green fields. Famine spread quickly, and the kingdom, once full of joy and prosperity, was thrown into hardship. Everything changed. Hunger and despair filled the streets, and the once loyal subjects turned against their king. Whispers of rebellion spread like wildfire. Once a revered and mighty ruler, King Obatan now found himself shrouded in blame as whispers of the kingdom's suffering echoed through the streets and across the neighboring villages. A man once celebrated for his strength and wisdom, the tides had turned, and the subjects no longer adored him. Instead, they questioned his reign. His palace grew silent. King Obatan's many wives, who no longer had the luxury of the palace, left with no hesitation. They took their children, wealth, and comfort with them, packing their silk and jewels, abandoning the man now more shadow than king. All but one wife remained, Queen Efe, his youngest wife, a woman of unparalleled grace, beauty, and most importantly, wisdom. Where others saw problems, she only saw solutions. One evening, King Obatan sat in his grand but empty palace. The golden walls now felt like a mocking reminder of his failures. The air in the royal chamber was heavy with tension. King Obatan sat slumped on his throne, his proud shoulders now weighed down by failure. His head rested in his hands as he muttered to himself, "Everything I built is crumbling," he said. "The people hate me. They don't understand. I cannot summon the rain or make the earth fertile again. I gave them years of plenty, and now they turn their backs on me." Queen Efe entered quietly, her footsteps soft but steady. Her beauty was undeniable. Smooth ebony skin, high cheekbones, and eyes that shone with intelligence. But her calm presence commanded attention. She stood beside her husband and watched him with pity and determination. Her piercing eyes seemed to see straight through him. "My king," she said, "the people do not hear you. They hate their suffering and their pain. They are starving, thirsty, and really scared. In their eyes, you are the only one who can help them." King Obatan looked up, his face full of sorrow. He said, "And how am I to help them, Efe? I am a king without power. I cannot bring rain. I cannot conjure food from the earth. My granaries are nearly empty. My people curse my name. Even my wives have abandoned me." Efe responded, "Not all of them," she said softly, meeting his gaze. "I am still here, and I will not leave you." Queen Efe stepped closer, her voice firm. "You cannot control the rain, my king, but you can control how you lead your people. They need more than a king who sits on a throne. They need a leader who fights for them and listens to their voices. You need to show them that you care and love them." Her words stung, but it ignited a spark in King Obatan's eyes. "What would you have me do?" he asked bitterly. "Why help a broken king?" Queen Efe placed her hand on his shoulder. "You are not broken, my king. You are only lost. But I can guide you if you let me." Queen Efe wasted no time. Disguised as a commoner, she began traveling to the farthest corners of the kingdom. She sat with farmers by the barren fields, listened to mothers crying over their hungry children, and spoke with elders whose wisdom had been ignored. She returned to the palace with a clear vision and laid out her plan. "The first thing we must do," she said, "is to feed the people. Open the royal granaries. Use what we have left to save as many as we can." King Obatan frowned. "If we empty the granaries, what will we eat in the palace? What if the drought continues?" Queen Efe's voice was steady. She responded, A king who lets his people starve will soon lose his throne. But a king who sacrifices for his people earns their loyalty. Feed them, and they will stand with you. Reluctantly, King Obatan agreed. The granaries were opened and food was distributed. Though not enough to end the famine, it gave the people hope. Word spread quickly. The king had not abandoned them. Next, Queen Efe organized public gatherings where King Obatan would speak directly to his people. She coached him on what to say. Do not hide your struggles, my king, she told him. Be honest. Tell them you are suffering too, but will not stop fighting for them. At the first gathering, the crowd were cold and suspicious, but their anger began to melt as King Obatan spoke, guided by Efe's words. I know you are angry, he said, his voice trembling with emotion. I know you feel abandoned, but I promise you, I will not rest until our kingdom is whole again. Together, we will survive this. Queen Efe stood by his side, her presence radiating strength. Slowly, the people began to believe in their king again. Queen Efe's next step was to address the roots of the problem. She was from a family of scholars. She remembered the techniques her father, a wise scholar, taught her about farming and water management. We must prepare for the future, she told King Obatan. Let us build irrigation canals to bring water to the fields. Let us plant crops that can survive drought. It will be hard work, but we'll ensure this never happens to us again. King Obatan hesitated. The people are already weak. How can we ask more of them? Queen Efe smiled. Because we will work with them. You and I will go to the fields side by side with the farmers. When they see their king and queen toiling with them, they will find the strength to continue. True to her word, Queen Efe and King Obatan worked along their people. The sight of their king and queen in the fields inspired a sense of unity and purpose. The canals were built slowly, and the first hardy crops began to grow. The villagers were happy again, and they were able to feed their children. Queen Efe introduced irrigation systems and a new farming technique she had learned from her travels, ensuring the drought would never devastate the land again. Her efforts began to bear fruit. Slowly, whispers of the rebellion turned to murmurs of hope. With Queen Efe's reforms and King Obatan's renewed spirit, the kingdom of Obatan flourished once again. The irrigation system turned barren lands into fertile fields. Trade routes reopened, bringing wealth and prosperity. Most importantly, King Obatan became a beloved ruler guided by Queen Efe. Just as hope returned to Obatan and prosperity began to bloom again, Queen Efe uncovered a sinister plan threatening their newfound peace. A jealous nearby village, envious of Obatan's restored fortune, had conspired to attack and claim its wealth. Queen Efe brought this plot to light with her unmatched wisdom, ensuring King Obatan was prepared for the looming threat. Rallying his loyal subjects, King Obatan led his people to defend their land. The jealous village was decisively defeated, and King Obatan's fame spread far and wide as a ruler of strength and resilience. His victory solidified his power and the unity and loyalty of his people, who now saw him as their protector and champion. Under Queen Efe's continued guidance, the village of Obatan thrived beyond his former glory. Her plan of redistributing wealth among the people, building trust within the kingdom, and expanding the irrigation system transformed Obatan into a flourishing hub of life and abundance. The once struggling kingdom became a beacon of prosperity. King Obatan reigned with his queen. Their partnership was built on wisdom, courage, and compassion. Together, they ushered in an era of peace and happiness, deeply loved and revered by their people. Obatan became a symbol of unity and resilience, a legacy forged by a wise queen and a noble king. For many years, King Obatan and Queen Efe ruled, their love for each other mirrored by the love of their people. Their story became a legend, told across generations, reminding all of the power of wisdom, sacrifice, and unity. And so, under their reign, the land of Obatan remained prosperous, thriving, and cherished, a true kingdom of hope. Many lessons can be learned from Queen Efe. Her legacy taught the kingdom that true leadership requires sacrifice. Her willingness to give everything to her people inspired others to do the same. Wisdom is greater than power. Her clever strategies saved the kingdom when strength alone could not. Unity is built on trust. Queen Efe and King Obatan restored faith in their rule by working with the people. And above all, love is a powerful force. Queen Efe's love for her husband and her kingdom gave the strength to face any challenge. In the end, Queen Efe's life proves that even in the darkest of times, a single act of courage and wisdom can change the course of history. Thank you.